A Ronin's Life for Me. Ghost of Yotei is out, so Cat and Joelle give a roundup of their first impressions. Xbox Gamepass is rising in cost, so the crew debates their subscriptions. And Cat tries to stump us all with a round of Steamy Game reviews. Sharpen your blades and let's go.
Get ready for the Girls on Games podcast, your weekly dose of news, reviews, and everything video games. Always served with a good helping of hype and just a pinch of salt. And now, your host, Leah.
Hello and welcome to another Girls on Games podcast. My name is Leah. I'm the host of this show. This is episode number 512. And joining me around this digital table is Catherine. Hello.
Hello.
And Joelle, what's up?
Hello, hello. It's finally under 80 degrees Fahrenheit in Minnesota.
Here.
For us, it's tomorrow. We gotta wait till tomorrow.
And even then, it's going to be 24. I read 28 in the car yesterday.
Ew.
It was 30 degrees in my office this afternoon because of the sun beaming in.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it was hot outside, it's very dry. And I was like, I am not closing these goddamn windows to turn on the AC. So I unplugged my laptop and I changed my tasks. Instead of designing, I was like, I'm going to write documentation because I can do that on one screen. And I went into the living room with a fan on me and I wrote documentation. And I was like, there we go. I feel cool.
Way to show them. Way to show them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so ready for sweater weather, but it is not sweater weather yet.
This weekend, though, it is going to drop.
Thank God. 'Cause
Yay.
it's Canadian Thanksgiving. We need it to be sweater weather.
I
yeah,
saw
that's
Thursday
right.
was like 12 degrees Celsius.
Whoop, whoop. Let's bring it.
That's early 60s, I think, for in freedom units. But it is
Freedom
cold.
units. Love it. I saw a funny commercial on TV because we've been watching the baseball games because go Jays go. There was a Subway, instead of a foot long, they were calling it 15.2 centimeters.
That's funny.
I was like, that's super accurate.
That's so funny.
All right.
It's not $5 anymore, though. Inflation
Hell
got
no.
us.
Hell no. We'll be talking about inflation in a bit. Let's get through some housekeeping. If you enjoy this show, you can subscribe. It's available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Podbean. If you'd like to get some GOG merch, you're going to have to wait. We still haven't figured out the shop yet. Recommendations, please send them our way. Or if you want to throw us money another way, maybe give us a tip, buy us a coffee. You can do that by going to our Ko-fi. That's ko-fi.com/girlsongames. Ladies, what have you been at this week? Kat?
All right, I'm going to close the dryer saga.
Yeah, close it.
Because it was so fucking funny. It was a bit sad. So anyway, it's a heat pump dryer. It needs to drain the water. It was giving me errors that the container is full, but I was draining in the drain. I got my very hunky and very muscular boyfriend to pull out the stack so that I could connect it back to the container, and it works fine with the container. So my official diagnosis, as somebody who knows nothing about these things, is that the pump, the condensation pump on these things, whether it's like your heat pump to heat your house or your dryer, are not very strong. And lately, my drains have been gurgling way more than usual. So I think there's a bit of old sewers in this city. And I think it's not strong enough to pump. So I've accepted the fact that after every load, I will take this fucking container and dunk it myself. But I had the tech scheduled. Because I called back and I was like, what's better? And they're like, let's just schedule it. Call us Monday to cancel. They're like, as long as you call, we open at 9. If you call and you cancel, there'll be no problem because we book them end of day. I was like, cool. They're like, we want you to be happy. I was like, cool. So I call this morning and I get a message saying they're closed for a holiday. And I'm
Today?
like, what fucking holiday? It's October 6th. They're in Vaughan, Ontario. So
we're all at work here.
You have holidays every day. It's a holiday every day over there. I don't know
But
why you're like
Monday
coy.
of next week is Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pre-Thanksgiving celebration.
Somebody scheduled their phone lines wrong.
Oh.
And I think around 9:30 they realized like people are sitting in a call center and the phone ain't fucking ringing.
That sucks.
So yeah, I tried to call them, and then eventually I just had because like this all started with they didn't have my warranty information. They couldn't validate my warranty because they didn't have my cell information. So I've been in a back and forth with like Miele to get them to come here and look at my dryer, right? Mm-hmm. For it to be finally, it's the fucking city plumbing. So I had an email thread with them, and I just replied being like, "Hi, so tomorrow this tech is coming. Here's the confirmation number. I want to cancel it, but I'm calling you, and you know it says you're on holiday. But I've talked to my friends in Ontario, and everybody else is working." 9:35, the phone rings, and I see like it's a random, like weird ass number, like 800-ish number. I'm like, that might be me, Ellie. I answer, and it was eventually it was a rep. And thank God that the wait line and the communication line for their French service seems to be quicker than for the English, because they probably give priority to the very low level of calls from Quebec and Eastern.
Well, they probably only have so many service people that can do the French side too, right?
Exactly. So usually it works as these people are bilingual, and when a French call comes in, they come in, and if not, they help the English calls, right? Mm-hmm. So I got like premium service. I was like, I just want to cancel. It was such a roller coaster of weird circumstances for it to be that the thing ain't even broke. It's just so weak of a pump, it can't compensate for shitty plumbing. And it worked for like over a year connected in the drain. So I don't know what happened this year. If we have a bit of blockage, there's been a lot of plumbing work by the city all over the place. So I don't know, maybe they're like digging somewhere 2 streets down and they're causing us like a bit of backflow. It's just so fucking dumb. But yeah, I just wanted to close this chapter. But it's just like when I called this morning and they were like, "Hi, thank you for calling Miele. We're closed for the holiday." I was like, "You're fucking kidding me. Like, I am not paying a cancellation fee for this tech."
Also, too, why am I not on vacation?
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, yeah, I was pinging like people like that I know that work in my game, I have a game dev server. I was just like, I know people that work for Warframe that are, they're the studio's based out of Ontario. I was like, "Are you all off today?" And they're like, "No."
Yeah. Well, Vaughan is just north of Toronto.
Exactly.
Right.
So
I go there all the time.
I just walked in a chat that I know that has a lot of Toronto people, and I was like, "Hi, why is Miele closed for a holiday?" They're like, "They shouldn't be."
Catherine
so it was
the bug in their system.
It was just the weird, every step of the way, I hit a snag, and it's not the fault of myself or the company. It's just just a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
But long story short, I caught up on all my laundry.
Good.
And, very happy about that. And I had a very relaxing weekend up until this morning, where my blood pressure spiked a bit when I was like, when I couldn't reach the service center. Mm-hmm. But the weather was gorgeous this weekend, as we were talking about in the intro. And
I wouldn't call it gorgeous. I'm over the friggin' heat.
It wasn't that hot until yesterday, though. Saturday was
hot. Saturday was hot here too, and they had played 2 baseball games. Yeah, it was wicked hot. It was just as hot Saturday as it was Sunday.
No, for us, Saturday was a bit cooler, and it really spiked up.
Maybe maybe it went your direction from here.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I'm like, I'm over this. I'm tired of wearing the summer clothes. Every time I think about putting it away, I can't.
Yep.
I've given up on shaving my legs. I'm just like, if it's still hot, y'all are seeing.
There you go.
I'm like, I'm already in fall mode. If it's hot, it's just like I'm out there with my hairy legs and my hairy pits. It's just like, deal with it, because it's only 3 days of this. But yeah, it's gonna be a shocker as of like Wednesday or Thursday when it.
So ready,
Same.
so ready.
Yep, me too.
How about you, Joelle?
I was just gonna say it's so weird for it like today being like almost 30 degrees, yet I was walking through dead leaves.
Yeah. The leaves are falling. I had the gentleman outside doing the air blowing with the leaves. Also, Gibson does not like the leaf machine.
Oh,
yeah,
it's just
but
the
it's weird being
fall
hot
and summer.
Yeah,
is messing with my brain. That's all.
Yeah, it's time. It's time for it to turn to fall. As Thanksgiving is right around the corner for us. Not for you though, Joelle. You've got a little bit of wait.
I do. I have to get through Halloween first before. It's entering into the gauntlet of holidays with Halloween 1 month, Thanksgiving the next month, and then Christmas the following month, and then comes the recovery of January, and then we all cry over how much we spent the last. Yes, but I think go ahead, Kat.
I was just gonna say it's really bundled up together for you the holidays.
It sucks. It sucks.
They're all packed. Yeah,
they are. It's very frustrating because it's just like after that, it's like you have to wait a really long time for something else to happen.
Isn't there
MLK
Columbus Day at one point also?
MLK Day in January.
MLK Day in January, and then they changed Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day.
Okay.
And then who knows what it'll be 2026, but that's what it is now. And not everyone gets it off, so it just depends on where you work and a lot of workplaces are embracing, how people just celebrate at different times for different holidays depending on, your religion
flexible holidays.
Yeah, they
move them around.
Yeah, they give float. So instead of like the traditional maybe Christian Judeo holidays, they kind of give you some of the bank holidays, and then like I get 4 float days a year where I can take them wherever I want. So instead of having like Indigenous Peoples Day off, they give me the opportunity. So I can take that day off if I want and use a float day, or I can bundle them all up and take them later at a different time. So that's kind of nice where it's like you don't really, however you want to do it, because we actually have a lot of folks from India that work where I work. And so October, man, is their holiday month.
Diwali.
Like they had a holiday. They just had a holiday at the beginning of October, and then they have Diwali. And so a lot of them will take off an extensive period of time for Diwali. Mm-hmm. So then it also is kind of funny just for work wise, because it's like October they're gone, and then November like we're off, and then December we're off, but then they're working, and then I don't know. It's just kind of funny. It's like
something you've got to really work around with your teams.
Yeah, for sure. So
yeah. I went and saw that Taylor Swift movie because I was very curious. So listened to the new album on Friday, and then went with my cousin to see that movie. Really interesting way of doing something like that. It was almost like having, because I've been at album release events and things like that, considering my job. But yeah, went to that and essentially watched the making of the first music video, and then I also didn't realize, like it didn't dawn on me that I'd be seeing it, because I'm seeing it out in a movie theater. It's not going to be the explicit version.
Oh yeah.
So the lyrics are slightly different. But I enjoy the album, I gotta say.
I did too.
We're inundated with so much good music lately. The new Doja Cat album, The Midnight have a new album out. Came out same day as Taylor Swift. That's great. Hardy has a new album out. Yeah, we're lucky right now. There's a lot of good stuff to listen to. So that was pretty fun. Just had brother-in-law's birthday and things like that, but elsewise keeping it low key. I finished that K-drama that I think
the
other folks
one
in our chat are watching it. Yeah.
Mike
caught the tail end of it. He's like, your algorithm's going to be messed up now. I'm like, bring on all the corny stuff. That's what I want to see.
Listen,
escapism right now.
If you enjoy it, why wouldn't you want more of it?
Exactly. That's why it's my algorithm, not your algorithm.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was good. It was my first kind of K-drama experience. I didn't realize the lead actor too was from Girls' Generation.
Ooh.
Like many phases before or whatever. But Yuna, she's from Girls' Generation. I didn't know that. So yeah, I'm gonna go check out a few more because it was exciting. Nice to watch something that's not stressful like the news.
Yeah.
Or yeah. Lots of stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's check in with the fantasy critic.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're in October now. It's the meat and potatoes right now of it all. All the games are starting to release. On the podcast league. One game released last week that was in somebody's roster. That was Ghost of Yotei, which was on Joelle's list.
Yeah, it was.
Critic of 97 points, 17.
Give it to me.
Yeah. There were no bids and no drops because we're all full. So, Joelle is in first, Cat is in second, and I am in third. And the points are not, they're tight points, but Joelle just took off.
Woo! I know, she just blew past us because, like, I'm 141, you're 140, she's 168. It's just like, boom. She blue shelled us.
She did. When you've got a game that big, why not, right? So, Joelle, you still have Ninja Gaiden 4 and Power Wash Simulator and Kirby Air Riders to release that are on your list. You have one that's not coming out, an unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer, and you've got 2 counter picks. Mixtape, I don't think is coming out until next year. Then Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. Kat, you have the Dragon Quest game left to come out, same thing. Outer Worlds 2, Arc Raiders, and then you've got 2 counter picks, COD and Pokemon Legends ZA. And then I've got ZA to come out, which is next week. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Mixtape, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and then my counter pick that's not out yet is Arc Raiders. The other one I counter picked was one Joelle had was the mainline 3D Mario platform. So that's where we are right now in the podcast league. Over in the community league, we had 3 games release. Let's see. Digimon Storytime Stranger. That was on Steamy Kingsby list. It had a critic of 79, points of 9. I had Lego Party. Critic 82, points of 12. And then Ghost of Yotei was also on my list. Of critic of 97, points of 17. Unfortunately for Fred, I believe he was anticipating this game not releasing this year as he had it counterpicked. So unfortunately losing 17 points there. In the bids, Marvel Deadpool VR was won by Grumpy Grandpa Games, that's Phoenix, with a bid of $1. He dropped Professor Layton and the New World of Steam conditionally for that. And then By Sweet Carol was picked up by Pat with a bid of $17. I have that on my to play list, actually. I'm really curious about that game. So let's look at the standings right now. Pat is in first, then Ross, Margot, myself, Kat, Albang, Kyle, Jessica, Adam, NJK, Fred, Phoenix, Simon, and Joelle. Joelle still has 0 games released.
That's how I like it. That's what I want.
That's how Joelle rolls. Winning one and winning with a donut.
Just winning with the donut. I just live in the extreme, baby.
Live in the 2 extremes. That's right. All right, so let's talk about everybody's playing. It sounds like I'm the only one not playing Ghost of Yotei right now because my PlayStation is occupied by my husband. I'm playing a new Minecraft drop. So far, so good. Started a new world. Actually playing with the new Iron Golem. Got him trained to sort all my wares, which is great. But ladies, I'm very curious to hear about Ghost of Yotei. How goes?
Holy shit. I love it. I think it's a good mix of same old, but something new.
Oh yeah.
Because the for this one compared to Ghost of Tsushima, you learn multiple weapons, and you switch weapons depending on your opponent and the situation. So You show up, you have your one katana, and then the first thing you do is you learn a 2 katana technique to help you fight against people with large poles. And then I was like, can I learn the large pole? And like, as you go with the story and you realize like, as you're going to progress, you're going to learn all these weapons. And I was like, oh, shit. Also, the story is basically Kill Bill.
Sure is. It's
no
so good.
way!
It's
In
so
a good way. In a good way.
The best way. Yeah.
She literally has a to kill list.
Nice.
She goes back home with a to kill list for the people who killed her family.
Okay.
And I'm not going to go too much in the details because it's really nice to like sink your teeth into, even if it's like not very spoilery, but like I really enjoyed like skipping all the trailers and just being like, is samurai, you give me reason for Ronin to fight. And then the story starts and I'm just like, oh, fuck yeah. But yeah. And, she's a woman on a mission for revenge with a to kill list. And as you kill these people, you travel the island of Ezo and you learn that these people are tied in some political tomfoolery. So maybe they were part of a samurai clan that got decimated. Maybe there's a shogun that's kind of like sponsoring another samurai clan for them to be there so they can take over the island. Maybe you got indigenous people to the island that are called the Ainu. Because unlike Japan likes to let us know, Japan has a lot of like language and ethnic diversity that they suppressed. So you get to learn about one of these people that are in the north called the Ainu. And I was just like, fuck yeah. If you see the typical Japanese people I put with like air quotes, like the kind of people you see a lot in these samurai stories, if you've watched like the Kurosawa films or played a lot of video games, they're labeled as settlers. So basically it's people that went from the mainland into this island. But this island already has people there. Yeah, so again, digging into the historical context, adapted for video games. Very looks like diverse gameplay. You still have the come at me bro mechanic. You still have the assassination mechanic. I'm going full melee. How should I put it? I'm going for honor. I'm looking into parries and punishes and special attacks and combos. Yeah, I might invest in the comment me bro for that reason, but I'm not sneaking around. I am showing up and I am fighting all of these motherfuckers. When I played Ghost of Tsushima, I had a mix of sneak and combat. For this one, I was like, I'll play Assassin's Creed Shadows for the sneak. This is fine. But the game looks fucking gorgeous. Holy shit. I'm on a day one PlayStation 5 because I bought this shit secondhand from my friend who upgraded to the Pro. So I don't know what he's seeing with the PS5 Pro. But like with my day one PS5 with my shitty old ass like 4K TV from like 10 years ago, it's still mind blowing. It is so beautiful. It's
so good.
Every detail, every hair on everybody as you slice them with your katana. Yeah, you can really the blood work is gory. Like it is intense. It is intense. And then part of my favorite part is that after a battle that there's a cutscene and you cut to your main protagonist and then she's all bloody. Yeah. It's just like I'm like, they didn't clean you up first, and it is great. It is wonderful. It is very Kill Bill also in that aspect.
Yeah. The bride gets very, very bloody by the end of it.
Yeah, it's very Kill Bill had a baby with Blue Eye Samurai. If you watch the show Blue Eye Samurai and like the anger and the thirst for revenge and the gore, like that's.
I don't know that. Is that an anime or a live action?
On Netflix.
What is it?
On Netflix.
Anime on Netflix. Highly recommend.
Very good.
It's really good animation, adult animation. Like it is very, very violent. And it's about the same premise.
Okay.
Daughter of a forge master or a smith that gets wrong and goes on, has a to kill list for her revenge. In Blue Eye Samurai, she's going after European merchants that came to Japan the first time they opened up like the island, and then like the Europeans showed up with like fucking cheese and guns.
Yeah, the guns of the shogun, like for
essentially, yeah, to help him win his war against people that just had swords and bows. So yeah, Blue Eye Samurai is really good. I know, like I'm referencing Kill Bill a lot, and Tarantino was highly influenced by like old school like samurai movies, including Kurosawa. And this game is very Kurosawa as well. Like they're not hiding. Like when it comes to Sucker Punch, they never hide about their influences. They're just like, yo, this is like Kurosawa film. They're like, yeah, we love this shit. We added a Kurosawa mode in the game so you can like just kind of like have a camera panning out as you fucking ride around your horse. Like you can play the whole game in black and white if you want.
Love it.
But why would you? Because it's so pretty.
I know.
Like
I know
photo mode half the time. Photo mode half the time right now, where I'm like, I got to take a photo.
Like,
I got to
your
take a photo.
entire time frame playing the game is 50% game time, 50% in the photo mode.
Yeah, just because of it is so cinematic, and so it's so fun to play the game because watching it is such a treat, and like it's like watching like Kat said, like a Kurosawa film. So they give you these wonderful breaths of cinematic moments in between gameplay, and they don't feel like forced or overdone, but because they're so beautiful, it's like, this is so great. I don't know, like it's very captivating, and the dialogue is good, like the story is amazing, and how they really suck you in right away, and the mechanics of like going back and forth in timeline, I thought was really, really interesting. And the use of the controller is also really fun and
right, yeah.
And the sounds that come from the controller, I think, are really a different type of flavor than anything I've experienced so far. Aside from maybe Astrobot, but they have, it's very interactive. So like when you go to upgrade your swords, you go to a forge. And when you do that, you can turn this off in accessibility if you want, but you have to raise your controller and push it down. Like you're actually like hammering.
Wow.
And so you have to do that, and you have to turn your steel, and you have to like put it in the fire, and then you got to go and like you hammer.
Do you like it?
Then, what?
Do you like that interaction?
I do. I do kind of like the interaction, because instead of just like sitting in one position and like pushing buttons, it's kind of nice. You don't have to do it very long either. And again, if you don't like it, you can turn it off so you're not like locked behind that movement. But I don't know, it is kind of fun because it is very sensitive, so you can't just like blah blah, like try to like pound it down. You have to be very particular. And then when you're at camp and you want to start a fire, you can have two options to start a fire. You can either blow on your controller to try to coax the embers into turning into flames, or you can lightly grace the touchpad, like with like flint and like herb blowing.
Neat.
And so there's a lot of touchpad interactions.
Yes, I've noticed that.
Which is really fun. So there's times where you can like sit, and in Ghost of Tsushima, they like read you a haiku, but you really didn't do anything at that moment. It was just really a passive,
you had
peaceful experience.
You had
to organize.
No, you had to pick the next line or something.
Oh, so yeah, that's right. You had to go and find. It was a seek, like a hide and seek kind of thing. This one, you draw. And so like you'll sit down at a vista or at a point of interest, and then they'll give you a movement to draw on parchment with your like quill. And you have to follow that movement also fairly close. and then you can like draw or write a character, a Chinese character as you go.
Yeah.
So again, it's
called Sumi.
Oh, okay.
The type of like ink drawing that she does
Mm-hmm.
Sumi.
Yeah.
But you're also doing Sumi by like running your fingers against the pad. Like this is my first like true like PS5, very PS5 game experience.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, like Final Fantasy didn't use the controller that much. Like there was
no, because didn't that come to Xbox first?
No, it was a PlayStation 5 exclusive for a while. But it was one of the first releases. So the only thing you'd get is like when you got like your combo right with your dog or your magic, I would get the audio feedback through the controller.
Okay.
But like Ghost of Yotei is just like, yo, you're gonna paint with this shit. We're gonna have like a lot of feedback, like just audio feedback, a lot of like the haptic. Like I thought the haptics were really good in Final Fantasy 16. I was not ready for like a true like PlayStation optimized experience.
So cool.
And I think because they're further down the cycle, the console cycle, I think they're actually like pinpointed a lot of what this can be used for. I think they're making good use of the controller. But again,
that's
as Joelle said,
studio, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as Joelle said, if you don't want to like actually hammer your controller to hammer your sword, you can change it to button prompts, and I think you can skip the interaction altogether.
Okay. You can always skip it, if you don't want to do it. It's just it's really nice. I think what is so fun about it is that Sucker Punch, I think, expertly kind of places these little differences in gameplay. So, and the story, you get to kind of pick a little bit of where you go. It's a little linear. I think in the very, very beginning of like, we want to set the stage for you, but then as you keep going, you can start to branch off pretty fast in kind of what direction you want to go to. And they give you bounties. Once you hit the first town, they give you bounty hunters to go and to go get. And those folks, I thought they were going to be super hard. I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for those. But you get money, and you kind of need money. You get a lot of money, and you kind of need money to get stuff at the beginning of the game. So I just tried my hand, and I went to get one. And that encounter I thought was so interesting too, because it wasn't just like go to this one spot, you have the encounter, and then you're done. There was a lot of uncovering around the rest of the story, and there were multiple encounters as I went, and they were really surprising. Like they came out of nowhere, and I was like, "Oh, I guess I got to fight someone." So it also felt very like organic. Like when you encounter people and when you're fighting them, it's very organic, where they don't always lock on, and you kind of stumble around a little bit as you're getting used to it. But the combat is so fun. It's so smooth. It's very satisfying. So I just think like they do a really good job of keeping things kind of fresh, and just the different type of kind of movement with the controller again. So it's just kind of nice to be like, I'm gonna draw something, and I'm actually gonna touch my controller and use that kind of technology.
I remember too, because I was just thinking too back at what the other games that Sucker Punch had done, and like Infamous, one of the things that they had, I think it was Second Son, was the whole spray paint mechanic, and you would turn the controller, and this is on PS4 too, it wouldn't have been even PS5. You turn the controller on its side and use the trigger, and you did the action like you were spray painting
cool.
too. So
that's
like
neat.
they are, and I guess this is because also too they're a first party studio, so they're probably thinking a little outside the box. They may also be part of the teams that are consulted on what kind of cool things could you do if we put some tech in these controllers, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
It's
and be forward thinking about it in that way. Ladies, how much have you played so far?
I'm not very far in. I've played like maybe 5 hours over the course of the weekend.
I think I'm about the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because it came out Thursday or Friday?
Thursday night. So I used the app to buy it and to install it remotely. And then I started playing Friday night. But I was so zonked from my week, and like previous weekend, I had a friend and everything. I was so zonked that it's like I did the tutorial, I was fine, and then Saturday I was like, I'm gonna play all afternoon, but no, I ended up like hanging out with my friend and shit like that. So I played a bit at night. And I think yesterday is the only time I got really like to sit down with it and really like went to the point, as Joelle said, where the game opens up for you and you have decisions to make of like where you're going to go next and what you're going to do. And, you know, and there's stuff that came back, you know, like at one point, I talked to a settler, there's like, yo, there's an onsen close to here. You should go relax. And when I got close to the onsen, there's these little yellow birds that start to fly. That shows you points of interest. So it showed me where to go to get the onsen. And you sit in the onsen and you reflect on something and they gives you more health. Like that is completely like Ghost of Tsushima 100%. But then when it comes to the little challenges, like now it's like the bamboo strikes where you cut down bamboos by doing button combinations. You got to be good. You got to be fast. I am terrible at it. And then instead of the haiku, you're doing sumi paintings. You know, there's definitely changes. And I think the more we play it, the more we're going to see the core changes to maybe the combat system and the progression. Like, I'm really curious about how they're going to handle all these different weapons. Because at one point I went into the menus because I found a shrine and they were like, I was like, oh yeah, you find a shrine, they give you a skill point and you get to upgrade shit. I went to the menu for like the weapon types, and then I noticed I kept scrolling to the right for a while. I was like, okay, like when it came to stuff like Yakuza, I got really overwhelmed with like the 4 different combat styles, because you basically had 8 different combat styles because you had 2 characters and 4 different combat styles. I was like, all right, I don't know how they're going to handle it for me to not get fully overwhelmed, because you can change weapons mid-combat. That's what they're encouraging. So I don't know if it's going to be at one point where it's like you need to have everything in your kit or you build a kit. I'm still wary on that. That. I only have 2.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And it took me a hot minute to learn that you have to pull the left trigger button in order to open up the menu for your weapons. But it's not super obvious, because, you know, like in sometimes a weapon wheel will show up, right, and take up the whole screen. So it's like very obvious that you're in a weapons menu. But this one isn't that obvious. So I was like holding it. You just have to push it and then the menu comes up, but you can't attack while you're changing weapons. So I kept getting owned in battles. So I was like, why can't I do anything? And I thought something was wrong. It's because I had the menu open. So I don't know, like maybe save people a few minutes of just like change your weapon and close the menu and keep going, because you have to do it in battle. Like you usually have to change in battle, and you can't fight if your menu's open up there.
No, because it's basically your 4 main action buttons. So like the cross, the circle, the square, whatever. You use, and your bumpers and your triggers, and your bumpers you use for combat. If you click that trigger, it opens the menu, the weapon swap, and that changes the function of your 4 action buttons.
Yep.
So, you know, square is a light attack, but if I have that open, square will switch to my katana. But if I hit the cross, then I'll switch to my double katanas. I'll probably have more. And that's the thing, is like that weapon wheels, I only see 4 slots. So I don't know if it's like it's going to be like a Horizon Zero Dawn type situation where you have more weapons than you have slots. So you build your own loadout and you change according to, like, maybe if you go into very hard combat and you get on and you're like, yeah, I should have this weapon, and you swap it out. Like, I don't know, because I think from what I gather from playing this game, I think the point is that the big baddie is like a multi-weapon master. And I think that's like you're trying to build yourself. Okay. To go fight this big bad man. So yeah, I'm wary about that, but like I haven't gone far enough to know exactly what it's going to mean. And, you know, are we just going to stick to the 4 weapons, or is there going to be 6 and you kind of choose your 4 favorite? I don't know. But, and to come back to, it's not a big weapon wheel in your face. This game is incredibly cinematic to a fault. So they did not crowd the center of the screen with any UI at all. 0. So if you have a big ass TV, know that you will have to shift your eyes from the action and look all the way down to the lower right corner to your tiny weapon wheel.
That's why I missed it.
Yeah.
Is that an accessibility issue?
It can be.
It probably could be, yeah.
I wonder if I'm curious to see what Steve has to say.
But it looks like...
It's like, again, it took me a minute to figure out what I was like, what is
I
happening
hate that.
here?
I hate when you get a UI in a game, and Kat can obviously contest to this because she does this for a living. But like when it's not obvious what you've got selected, or it's not obvious where you're making changes, right? I dealt with that a lot playing Ritual of Raven, just because the highlight was just not obvious enough for me that I didn't know where my cursor was, and often that would cause me to misclick on things.
Yeah. And in this case, I guess it's like you'll learn muscle memory.
Yeah.
To kind of know like your katana's on square, your double katana's on X, and the other are on there. Also, when you change weapons, it shows like, Atsu actually like, puts away her katana, pulls out 2. I think the problem is right now the difference between the single katana and the dual katanas is not as obvious as in one she'll get like something long, like a nagitana, like the long pole shit. I think it's called a nagitana. Then, when she whips that long shit out, I feel there'll be a bigger difference. So it's going to be a mix of, this is, as somebody who works on a fighting game, this feels like very fighting game, where it's more, you're going to learn more muscle memory than you are going to rely on the UI for your inputs and your prompts.
Okay.
And I think that's what they're going for. At one point, you do the thing, and they do the tutorial and they show you the weapon wheel to be like, hey, this is how you're going to interact with this. But even if I consciously learned about it and understood this was going to happen, and unlike Joelle, I didn't get caught in like, what the fuck is happening? But when I interacted with it, I was like, I can't. I was just like, what? Where is it? And they're like, it's all the way down here. I was like, cool, okay. It took me a minute to look at the prompts and be like, oh, these are small. Oh, okay, it's the 4 buttons. So the quadrants are the 4 buttons. So if the weapon is on the bottom part, I hit cross. If it's going to be on top, going to hit triangle, At least they did it like drawn in that quadrant so that you know which part of the controller to hit.
Yeah.
But the UI, she's small. I'm pretty sure it's scalable. It's just we're so used to like games like Fortnite or whatnot. When you whip out any kind of selection wheel, it takes the entire fucking screen.
Yeah, very used to that.
Yeah, this one is going to be like, you're going to have to think on your toes. And I think really like in fighting games, how you learn like your chains and your combos and your punishing moves and what has iframes and shit. I think in this game, it's going to be a toned down version of that, where you think, okay, I got to switch to this weapon. And it's not going to be like, look at the UI to switch to the weapon. It's just remember where it is and just go to it mechanically. Because also a lot of like the combat is just VFX. Like, the blue ones, you got to parry. The yellow ones, you got to dodge, or you got to, and then everything else is dodgeable or blockable and stuff like that. But it can be very obvious if you read the animations of your enemies, which is also something that happens a lot in fighting games, where you read the animation to know which type of moveset is coming at you. So it's more in this mindset. I played Ghost of Tsushima playing it more like a RPG and just kind of like tailoring the combat to what I'm used to, which was a lot of Assassin's Creed and shit like that. Now that I've played like a lot of For Honor, but also games like Final Fantasy 16 that was like very heavy on the combat and influenced by Monster Hunter, and I'm going into this game, I'm like, okay, no, these people played a lot of like combat heavy games like Dark Soul, Monster Hunters, and it's really like, that's why the combat is so good. But also you can't approach it like you would a game that's action first. This game is combat first.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to thank my day job for this. Love you, For Honor. You made me better at video games. Still shit at For Honor. Better at every other games.
All right. Well, we'll have to come back next week to continue your guys' thoughts in the game. I'm really curious to see how it pans out.
I'm going to be obsessed with this game for the next month. FYI.
Yeah, there you go. So good. Lots of time. Since this is a podcast about video games, let's play a podcast game about video games to really confuse things. Catherine, you have Steamy Game reviews. Does that mean there's going to be a little bit of sass in with these? Like, are they going to be?
Of course. Steamy Game reviews.
Risque?
Could be. Steamy Game reviews is the game where I read you funny reviews on Steam, and you have to guess which game is being reviewed.
Okay.
Oh, from
it's
Steam.
Not what I meant by steamy.
Damn it. Come on. We've been listening to too much Taylor Swift.
Watching too many K-dramas.
Yeah.
No.
They're not as steamy as you would think in a K-drama, though.
No, it's more
very
like
reserved.
Steampunk.
Yeah. All right, cool.
All right, so I have 2 games. Each game has 3 comments. And today... Oh, wait, no, the last one I only have 2. I forgot to take a screen. No, never mind. It's slower. Beautiful.
Okay, good.
So I have 2 games for you to guess.
Okay.
Which are Gamepass games you can buy on Steam.
Hey! Keeping it on theme as we get to talk about Gamepass later.
All right, so our first game being reviewed by Oculus.
Oh, Oculus.
And he recommends this game with 59 hours on record, 8.2 at review time. Their comment is, was riding a horse, tripped over a rock, and flew into the sky. Just how I like it.
No Man's Sky?
Ooh.
I was riding a horse, tripped over a rock, and flew into the sky.
Yep.
Tripped over a rock. Tripping over this clue.
What was the game that was really big with all the planets with no map?
That was No Man's Sky.
No.
Oh, you're thinking about the
Starfield?
Bethesda one.
Starfield.
Yeah, it's not Starfield.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's a space game.
Because he's riding a horse.
You fall into the sky.
He's riding a horse.
Yeah, but you're riding a horse. Maybe you're not supposed to fall into the sky. Maybe that's the point of the review.
Is it a Witcher?
No.
59 hours isn't that long for a Witcher.
Let's give us another one. Yeah, let's give us another hint.
Yeah. So this one, I should read these names before I put the screenshot, because then I realize I got to say this out loud. This is a review by Turklander.
Okay, Turklander. What do you got?
Recommended. They stay so true to the original game that even the sudden FPS drops when transitioning to a new location are faithfully recreated.
Is it Red Dead Redemption?
No.
Oh my god.
Think maybe Xbox properties.
Oh, okay.
Acquired.
Halo?
No.
You ride horses in Halo?
COD?
No.
Are you riding a horse in COD?
No. Maybe there's some CODs like a fucking old ass.
There's a
like,
mod.
Cowboy
They created.
COD.
Oh,
Assassin's Creed.
No. What's the one that just Oblivion?
Yes, it's the Oblivion remake.
Oh, there you go. Good
Known
guess.
for its
You hit a
outlandish
rock and
bugs
fly
that they
in?
didn't fix.
Right, and you fly into the sky. There you go.
That makes all sense.
I'll read you the last comment because you wanted steamy stuff.
Yes.
So, Truth
Give me
VL.
the book talk related steamy stuff.
Yes. Truth VL said, when this was released originally, I was a virgin. Now that the remaster is out, a lot has changed. Still a virgin,
Amazing.
but the game improvements are 10 out of 10. Feels like a brand new game and 10 times better than Skyrim.
Poor person.
That's amazing.
Yeah. our following game. So our review is by Diode. Anyway, I'm running this game. I'll pronounce your username however I see fit. Diode recommends this game. Their review is having a weird bug where other people shoot at me. Streamers don't have this bug, though.
Streamers don't have this bug?
Yeah. I think it's a comment on the PR marketing more than the actual game.
Oh, okay.
Or that streamers are cheaters.
Nah. Can you say, wait, what was the first part of it?
Are we talking about COD?
It is COD. It's Block 6.
That's funny.
Black Ops 6.
Yeah. My two other reviews were also quite ridiculous. We had Bugsy not recommending this game, saying, insanity is buying the same game every year, expecting something different.
Right,
I don't know why you would.
The definition of insanity.
That's right.
Yeah, that is from Far Cry 3.
Where's Michael Mondo? Yeah. We need him.
COD is very much the same game every year, repackaged. And then my last comment was by CDL Gaming, which sounds like very much a streamer game. Not recommended. 1 hour before work, want to grind some camos. Open game. 75 gigabyte update. Wait 25 minutes to download. Open game again. Wait 2 minutes to download title update. Restart game to apply update. Open game again. Wait 2 minutes to download title updates. Restart to apply said update. Open game again. Wait 5 minutes to install shaders. Select Black Ops 6. Video plays for new seasonal content. Skip videos. Pop-up ad for pay-to-win content in the game store. Pop-up ad for Battle Pass. Second pop-up ad for Battle Pass. Automatically opens the menu for Battle Pass. Select multiplayer. Select find match. Wait 2 minutes for skill-based matchmaking to put me in a lobby above my skill level. Game crashes due to data error. Have 20 minutes before I have to go to work.
Morning well spent.
And that's it. That's all I had this week. I had to do it quite quickly this morning,
That's
so I
okay.
didn't have more than just the two.
That's fine. They
but
were good.
yeah.
They were good. All right, let's take a wee break, and then we'll come back and talk about Xbox Game Pass and all the news from last week. Back with news of the week, and this one is, I want to say we probably saw this coming at some point, but didn't expect it quite so rapidly. Last week, just before the month turned over into October, we got the news that Xbox Game Pass was going to be doing a price increase. Kat, do you want to bring us through the news story to kind of give us the gist of it? And then we'll talk through kind of like the fallout and our thoughts on it afterwards.
Yes. So Xbox, I'll do the US amounts, but they're very similar in terms of pounds in the UK or in terms of dollar amounts in Canada.
I found them for Canada if you'd like, so I can tell you the Canadian ones after you recite the US ones.
Okay. So for the US prices, essentially the old Xbox Core subscription is being rebranded as Xbox Game Pass Essential, and that's $10 a month. I think there's no changes to that in terms of pricing. Xbox Game Pass Premium, that's the old standard subscription, $15 a month. And then Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, that is going up to $30 a month. And I think that's up from $20 a month. And then PC Game Pass is going up to $16.50, up from $12.
So on the Canadian side, Essential is going to be $13.99 a month. Premium is going to be $17.99 a month. Ultimate's going to be $33.99 a month, and it's currently $22, so up $10. And then PC alone will remain at $19.99 a month.
Okay.
So you're looking at, in some cases, a 50% increase.
Oh,
yeah. So
ouch.
yeah. But they've revamped a bit what's included, and up to you to decide if that new content and that new pricing tier works for you or is worth it. But Xbox Game Pass Essential will give you 50 plus games with all the in-games benefit. The cloud gaming, the online console multiplayer. When you go up from Essential to Premium, you get 200 plus game. Unlimited cloud gaming with shorter wait time. And then you get the new Xbox published games within a year. And then for Ultimate, which is the more expensive one, which is the one that really went up in price, you get 400 plus games, 75 plus day one games a year, including all Xbox published games day one. You get Ubisoft Plus Classics and EA Play, which are separate subscription with another publisher. Unlimited cloud gaming at our best quality with the shortest wait times. And of course, every tier includes the online console multiplayer and the in-game benefits. And from what I understand, I think all three of them now include PC, console, and cloud games. I think the PC subscription is just the one that includes only PC. I think if you subscribe to console, you get PC no matter what.
Yeah, it used to be that the ultimate one, the reason you get the ultimate is that you would have both. It was essentially like a package of the two together.
Exactly. Instead, now all tiers include PC. It's just they've restricted the game list, the game library itself.
Yep. Yeah, so the big thing is Ultimate is where they're going to do the new games on day one, including new Xbox published games and third-party games. So if you want something day and date, you have to pay for the big games. We're talking COD here, $39.99 a month. I'm wondering if you can jump around on the tiers as you pay for certain ones and stuff like that. I wonder if that's available.
I think they have to do it for a certain country where you want to upgrade your tier, and they'll just bill you for the rest of if you have 2 weeks left, they have to bill you for that week. I know that kind of works like that in Canada usually. But yeah, this model fits more with what I've seen from other subscription services. EA Play, the different tiers are basically, but I mean EA gives you access to the entire catalog of their games because they're just EA, but different tiers give you access to certain games quicker. And I think Ubisoft Plus is the same. They have their tier for old games, and then you have up a tier to get the newer ones right away. It feels like Xbox is doing that, but not only that, but they're also restricting just the size of the library. So I don't know how they're going to keep the 50-ish games for Essential. Are they going to rotate them, churn them out? Because they have on this graphic by Xbox explaining this tier, they have a screenshot of Stardew Valley. That is not an Xbox property. So does that mean that they're going to curate how many Xbox games versus external games they have in there to give you the 50-ish games? Because I think if they were giving you access to just what is considered Xbox games, it would be more than 50 games. It would be more now that they have Activision and Bethesda and Blizzard and shit like that is.
So if you go to, I know you had shared an IGN article in our doc. There's a link in there talking about the Xbox Game Pass October 2025 lineup. And it actually goes through and says here's what you get in Ultimate. Here's what you get in Premium. Of course, that's Ultimate's on top of that. You get all those too. It's really interesting to see because based on our gaming habits, let's put it that way, us collectively over the years that we've been playing video games and doing this podcast and whatever else, Ultimate to me doesn't make sense because I've literally played, I would say a good, if not 50 to 75% of the games that are listed that are Ultimate only, because the ones that they've added in here are games that have, come out fairly recently, like Hogwarts Legacy, which I picked up at day one, or it's the entire Assassin's Creed series, which we've essentially played. A lot of Far Cry, Child of Light, Rabbids, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Skull and Bones, Starlink, The Crew 2, Tom Clancy, Trial Fusion. Valiant Hearts, Watch Dogs, Wheel of Fortune, Zombie. Like, these are all games that have been out for years. It's not worth it to me to pay $39 or $33 a month, almost 34. I guess the taxes on top of it to do that. Especially now if they're bundling the two when with PC, if PC is available and the other stuff. Under premium, it's another mixed bag. Not as many Ubisoft things are not in here. I mean, City Skylines is in here, Diablo's in here, Fallout's in here. This is where you're seeing a lot of the Bethesda stuff that came. Elder Scrolls, Minecraft, Java is in here. Interesting. I'm wondering if Minecraft, but that's because that's specific to PC, Java Edition. I'm wondering now if Essentials, it doesn't say where Minecraft is when it comes to Bedrock. That's interesting. But they're definitely depending on what you're used to playing and, you know, your previous gaming history and what games are available on like Super Sale because they've been out for a while. Interesting way to approach it because it's really going to be kind of like how you look at some of the other streaming for TV and movie platforms now. It's like, when do you subscribe for when a hot show is on that you want to play and then unsubscribe? That's a good question.
Yeah. Because now, like, if every tier includes like the online multiplayer and some PC games, I may downgrade all the way to Essential just so that I can keep playing For Honor on console. Because on Friday afternoons, we have our weekly casual play session with my work. And we play the live game. So we don't play like a dev build or something like that. We play the game live. And Friday is a big day for work from home. So a lot of us are just playing on console. Shout out to crossplay and cross progression. So I wanted to keep some type of like subscription to keep playing on Xbox. If not, I was going to switch to PC and use cross progression to keep my progression going. But like I'm thinking like, you know, like the Essential one, if it includes a few PC games that I might actually play, or, you know, that my spouse might play, you know, for $15 a month or whatever it is in beaver dollars. I might just get that. But I've also canceled it, not because I was like price increase, because I was like, I'm gonna be playing Ghost of Yotei till like easy end of November. So
that's the thing. I've got so many games that I want to play on. Like, I'm playing Minecraft right now because the new drop came out, but like next week I'm shifting gears completely because it's Pokemon time, right?
Yeah.
And then near the end of the month, I think I'm going to be buying 2 Point Museum a second time and buying it on my Switch. So like I'm essentially not going to be touching the Xbox a whole lot. So like, is it better for me to just down subscribe? Joelle, what do you think you're going to do?
I think, well, I already canceled mine because when I heard the news that it was like going up to $30, I was like, I have a day or like a couple days. And I'm like, no, like I wasn't using it currently to play any games. And so I just went ahead and just kind of got rid of that. And that along with my Disney Plus subscription that I also canceled.
Yeah. So
canceling those two like within a week saved me over $600 a year. So I was like,
what am I doing?
Yeah, I'm like, I think I'm gonna reassess like my subs and see how much I actually use stuff. And so, like right now, I don't have an Xbox, and so I thought I usually just do PC, and I am just that type of person that like likes to play things day one if I really want to. I can't have FOMO. Like it's too hard. And so to me, like the premium one seems like you get the Xbox games within the year. I'm like, I don't know.
If
like,
I really want it, you just go buy it. I just go drop the money then.
Yeah. So I feel like that's not like, to me, that middle one is like the worst option in my opinion. So it's like I either fork over the money every month, but then I have to play at least 6 new games every year on day one, like for it to be worth it.
Yeah.
To like actually save money. Otherwise, it's more expensive. And then the the only reason that I would want the Essential is because I have the Ally. So, like, especially like if I'm traveling or something, so I can have the cloud. I need the cloud gaming support, essentially. So it could be where if there's a game I know that I want, if I'm going to buy it, then I might as well just, if I have to get it on Game Pass, if I can't get it through Steam, then I might as well just turn on the subscription of Essential, buy the game so I can play it for cloud. So I don't know. I feels like, it feels just so kind of rude that like I need the subscription for the cloud gaming. I mean, that's why I still have my PlayStation subscription for the cloud storage. I want the cloud storage and the keeping of the files, but this just, I think with their revenue, with Microsoft's and Xbox revenue from the past year, and then the decline in studios and all the layoffs and stuff, like the increased amount. I mean, I knew it was going to go up for sure. Like, is it surprising it increased? Like, no, I knew that number wasn't going to stay as low as it was forever, but this just felt really icky. Like, it just felt really gross. And everything is so expensive right now. I'm like, this just feels gross, guys. Like, can't you, it seems to me that like they don't really care about the gamer experience, or they did this knowing that they would definitely weed out who was really going to use this and who wasn't. Like, are they also using this as some sort of meter, like a gauge of how profitable is this way of gaming really? I don't know. I just think it was interesting to hike it that much. I want to be like, why? Like, why did you do that move?
Because the rumor mill was around $5, but then they went up this $10 amount. Because I went just out of curiosity. I went to poke around in my Microsoft account to see, I pay for Ultimate. And it says right now that my Ultimate is going to charge me on November 2nd for the original amount, the $22.99, not the $33.99 Canadian, which maybe I signed up at a time and they're going to keep that and they're just going to do new memberships are at 33 or something like that, or it's going to switch after the year's over. I don't know, but like that's something I haven't read, but I just thought like right now it says that it's on November 2nd. Maybe I'll get an email about it closer to the November 2nd saying like, hey, this is going to flip now. But I still think I'm going to downgrade. I don't know if it's just not worth it for me at this current time. The industry and the scuttlebutt on the internet is that they're all kind of aligned with us thinking that this is crappy. Kat, do you want to go through some of the backlash and comments and things that's been going on with it?
So one article I saw was that from Windows Central, the report says apparently that Microsoft gave up $300 million in Call of Duty sale as a result of Game Pass. So instead of people buying this game because of Game Pass, they lost these SKU sales. SKU being like buying the individual games, right? Mm-hmm. Whether or that will translate in more people in the game and more microtransaction, and this $300 million being, a loss leader that has more people in your ecosystem and on your platform, has yet to be seen, because this game, like Black Ops 6 came out last year, I think. Yeah, last year. But yeah, if your major model is to sell your game at full price, Game Pass is not going to seem to be worth it for you. And I don't know how the people at Activision feel, because this is post acquisition. They're new to the Microsoft family, and there's been, to go back to all like these, what we're saying about Microsoft making so much money, they still had layoffs across all of their gaming division. So I don't know if it's because Microsoft business, like Microsoft, the software and infrastructure, and they hold us by the balls because we all use Windows, is getting tired of the gaming division, quote unquote, bleeding money or losing money, and being unable to gain these market share. Like, are they like, okay, your disruptive phase is over, now it's time to cash up? So that was one of the thing where it's like, are people like, is it really worth it for especially premium games that are coming out right now to go on Game Pass and lose these SKUs? I know, like, for a lot of indie games, they were saying Game Pass was pretty good because Microsoft gave them a good dollar amount up front to be Game Pass. They wanted, and for a lot of them, that was funding to go to be able to ship their game, right? And then after that, they were like, oh yeah, well, Game Pass people tend to buy the DLC, or, you know, some of them do convert to buying the game because they want to keep it, since we're going to churn out of Game Pass eventually. So if they really love the game, they want to keep it, they'll buy it so that they can keep it. Or it encouraged people to buy it like on multiple platforms, you know, playing on Game Pass. Maybe they want it for Switch. But that's like indie games that cost like $20, $30, $15. You know, like I think for like Clair Obscur, Game Pass was a definite win. It doesn't sound like it's a win for Call of Duty, because they're just folded into Microsoft. They don't get upfront money. They just get their dev budget, right? And their targets to hit. And I don't know if those targets to hit, like these EBITs that they have internally, will convert Game Pass conversion into helping them hit that EBIT to be considered profitable. That's the part of the story we don't know. But that was one of the major like thing I saw, is like, are they bleeding money? It seems like they're giving up on game sales just to have this service and bring people into this service. But is the service worth it and profitable for everybody involved? And then there was a second article from Tweaktown where Microsoft is basically Microsoft defending their almost 50% price increase because they added like so much to it, including like the Ubisoft Plus Classic. That's why like Leo was lifting off like half of the Ubisoft catalog. But there is a lot of backlash. There was, I think the site to cancel Game Pass crashed.
I saw that some of like the kind of Twitter folks that you kind of see on the regular talking about the industry and kind of what's going on. We're showing screenshots of the subscription page, essentially just not responding.
Yeah. But yeah, Microsoft's answer to all the backlash was like, yeah, we're upping by almost 50%, but we're giving you more than 50% more games and benefits and things like that. So
contextual to your habits and what you've played in the past.
I think
the value is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, exactly. I think they made it clear that it's now a luxury. Like the highest tier of Game Pass is now a luxury good.
If you were just playing Xbox and that's your be all end all, then it's kind of awesome. Sure. But like if you're divided amongst umpteen different platforms like we are, then and also if you don't, you know, if you haven't played all of Assassin's Creed, then it's great, right? But for those of us that have been down that road, it's just not appropriate for us anymore. It's too bad. Because I feel like there's not enough. I don't know if this is just my old age showing, but more often than not now, when we're going to watch some of those press events and things like that, there's often not games that speak to me that I have any draw or interest that I want to play. Gone are the days where I feel like I need to play absolutely everything. I mean, we've been doing this for 14 years now, 13 years. I don't feel, if there's a game out there that I'm not interested in, I'm just not going to play it. I don't have the kind of time. I will go play something else. So I don't feel like, and I was like, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of disappointed when Slime Rancher was not on Game Pass when early access came to Game Pass. Like, I'm fine to give Monami Park the thing, but like, I had now branded that game in my head affiliated with Xbox.
Yeah.
But truly, I could play it anywhere. Well, the three places I could play it, PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. Can't play it on Switch yet. I would have loved to play that on Switch. Maybe I'll play that on Switch later. But yeah, everybody's going to be more savvy and make real hard choices when it comes to this now, I think. And the cheaper model is definitely looking good if that's the way you want to go, just so that you have access to certain things. And then for the big games that you really want to have, that you're going to own, right? Because essentially your digital copy or whatever, you can just go buy it online.
I think it definitely feels like more and more now with this model, I'm like, am I going to go back to, I'm just going to buy the title if I want to play it? Like, I mean, with indies, like, for sure, I think that makes a lot of sense. But the more and more I'm thinking about it, it just feels like games are probably going to be up there to, so like right now, they're, a lot of them are $70 to $80 US, depending on what the game is. Like, I just feel like now, I don't know if it makes a lot of sense. The subscription is so weighty, like on the household budget. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense anymore to have access to all the games. Like now I just want to buy the ones that I want to play and kind of be done. Like kind of be done with it.
Yeah. There's another story that I don't know if it was you, Kat, or Joel, that added to the list from The Verge, talking about Microsoft testing cloud gaming with ad-supported model. But what I didn't anticipate, though, is The Verge has this article behind a subscription wall.
Yeah, that was like,
ironic.
This is like me trying to get my dryer fixed and then phone lines being closed. I was just like, okay, so I changed the link to a site called purexbox.com. I just went to the Google News section. I was like, congratulations, you're top of list, you win. Essentially, with Microsoft extending Xbox cloud gaming access to all versions of Xbox Game Pass with the new pricing system, they're also set to announce a free version, apparently. This coming from Tom Warren at The Verge, who said that ad-supporting streaming is being tested inside of the company right now, and the belief is that it'll be centered around select stream your own game titles, eligible free play days titles, and the Xbox Retro Classic Collection. So this is all hearsay so far. The Verge are the ones that announced it. That's why they paywalled it. Fuck you, found somebody else. But yeah, so this will supposedly start rolling out soon as part of a public beta. I mean, if shit's going to be expensive and you want to go with a free tier that serves ads, go for it. Mm-hmm. I just hope it's not going to be interrupting ads. That's like,
I would imagine it wouldn't. I would think it'd be something like
pre-roll.
Be at the pre-roll. Yeah. Mid-roll would be really hard because I deal in a lot of ad-supported models in my day job, and like pre-roll I can handle it. Mid-roll makes sense as long as there's a natural space, like you don't want to interrupt content. I hate that when you interrupt content, especially when it's live content and then you miss something. But yeah, pre-roll, totally fine with it. Even end-roll if you go and jump into the next thing. So obviously I'm thinking podcast kind of stylings. But yeah, it's a good avenue. Like, if you're not going to pay the money, then you are going to be the way that things get paid anyway.
Yeah.
In your time and what you see.
I mean, yeah, you want to make gaming more accessible. You're going to have to find free tiers. I get mad at stuff like Prime, where I was paying Prime and they were serving me pre-roll and mid-rolls. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
Fuck you. You have my money.
That if I paid for something, especially I paid for it initially with the intention that it, I wouldn't, like YouTube Premium or whatever else. Like the whole point is I'm giving you money to bypass this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then also like I've been more and more with my, I have a Sling TV for live TV because I don't know how else to watch any sort of sports. Like, I have to have a million other subscriptions in order to watch live sports.
Yeah.
And I think I read somewhere, like, last year, if you wanted to watch all of the NFL games, you had to download, I think, 5 different apps and pay, like, over $800, like, for the whole season.
Well, that is ridiculous.
WWE is getting to that point, too.
Yeah.
In Canada, it's just on Netflix, but I've heard the tales because there's this YouTuber that I follow who's talking about what's happening in the U.S., and it is so fractured over so many different things. And that's just like one sport. It's not like you got to watch NFL football over here and like soccer, football over there, and hockey over there, and
Right.
basketball somewhere else. And
Yeah, so with my Sling account, like I found out that Sling was one of like the cheaper ones to start with, like if you wanted like a slim down bundle.
Mhm.
And then I added on like the MTV. I found out that more and more I was like, oh, I want to add all this on. And so right now I think I'm paying about $90 a month for the Sling, but
Mhm.
I'm finding that I don't need to pay for all the other subscriptions that I have because I'm double paying. I still get the service, and with Sling I can DVR, so I can set to record everything if I miss it. So I don't have to like be watching live TV. So I still get ads with the Sling, which is a little annoying that I can't like buy out of that. But I
Live
get to
TV
cancel.
has ads also.
Yeah.
I get to cancel all these other things though, and in the end it saves me more money. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, am I going back to like cable?
Yeah.
I went back
mean,
to the library. We're
Yes,
renting
it's-
DVDs at
it's
the
full
library.
Yeah,
Because
it's like
Pascal was like, I want to watch Lord of the Rings. I forget on which streaming service it is, but we had to pay to rent it. And the way we do it is that when we watch these long ass movies is we break it off almost in episodes. We watch like 20, 30 minutes while we have dinner. But if you rent it, you'll have 2 days to complete it. He was like,
Right.
that's bullshit.
Right.
And I was like,
Yeah.
yo, I have a library card. So I went online in the old archaic online system that the Montreal libraries have, and I looked, and I could get the Blu-ray version that has all 3 movies.
You had a Blu-ray player? Because
For
I'm
free.
slowly
I have
removing all
consoles.
discs. I bought
Yeah.
the PlayStation Digital. I
no,
bought the
my-
Xbox that has the disc drive in it.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah,
I
we're
can't tell
using
you the
the
last time I
Xbox.
put a disc in there.
Yeah, we're using the Xbox. My PlayStation 5 has a disc because my friend still buys. That's the other thing. My friends back home in Ottawa, which is one of the guys that I bought the PS5 off of, they still buy physical games because they share them and they swap them. So they're buying
Yeah.
Switch cartridges. They're buying
Yep.
PlayStation 5 discs. That's why he lent me his Final Fantasy 16 disc. He bought Ghost of Yotei with a disc, and he's gonna like lend it. I have a disc of Hogwarts Legacy on PS5 that he brought to the last Chalet weekend so that Pascal could give it to our friend Guillaume, so our friend Guillaume could play it because Guillaume lives here in Montreal with us.
Yeah.
So they're still doing that. So I was like, yo, and long story short, we went to the library and we rented a bunch of movies. We rented Dune 2. We rented the Han Solo movie. We rented the first season of Succession. And then while I was waiting for them to like maybe bring Lord of the Rings, they had to bring it from their library to me. So it was going to take a while. I was chatting with somebody at work saying, yeah, we want to watch Lord of the Rings. He's like, I have the extended edition box set. He's like, they're DVDs though, not Blu-ray. And my spouse was like, I don't care. I want the extended version. So I have my friend's DVDs.
Nice.
That we've been watching because the guy used to collect physical media and didn't get rid of his collection.
Yeah.
And I counted. I have 5 Blu-ray players right now. I have an Xbox One X. I have an Xbox One Series X. I have the Wii U.
Oh, yeah.
I have the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 right now sitting under my TV.
Oh,
Does
wow. See, a lot of
PlayStation-
stuff, my stuff is stored.
I don't think PlayStation is Blu-ray.
PlayStation 4 was Blu-ray.
PlayStation, they made Bluray. PS3
PlayStation
was
5?
Blu-ray, wasn't it not?
Yeah.
That was
yeah,
the reason I
Blu-ray-
convinced my dad to buy a PS3. It was like, it's
As
a
of
Blu-ray
PS3,
player.
they were Blu-rays, yeah.
Because they made that tech. That was when, because I remember this vividly because I was in grad school at the time.
Yeah.
That was the debate between Blu-ray and HD DVD because Xbox went all in on HD DVD. And you know what was the deciding factor between the two?
Porn.
And why Blu-ray won? You got it.
It's always
Porn.
porn.
I had no idea I already owned a Blu-ray player because a part of me is also like, do I just go back to buying physical movies because I, want to watch all the Marvel films, but I canceled my Disney Plus. And part of me is like, do I really miss this? I'm like, well, I'm going to want to watch the Marvel films. And I thought, well, if I had a Blu-ray player, like that would work. I didn't know that. I'm so excited.
But also, too, a lot of those movies, you might be able to buy them on the Apple iTunes store for like wicked cheap too.
I guess that's true too. But like I don't have the physical copy then. So if I ever like,
no, it's part of your Apple account. You own it. You buy it. You're not renting it.
Thanks for teaching me. Thanks for teaching Grandma
I bought a few
how
movies like Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. Like I have that physical on DVD, but I have no way to play it. So I bought that.
Interesting. Anyway, I just think it's wild that I'm like, do I just go buy a DVD or a Blu-ray? Because like this is BS.
From the library. You rent them from the library.
Well,
My
I can,
library
but
even has games.
I
want to own them. Like I want to be able to watch them whenever and not like go out and like if I feel if the mood strikes me while I'm cleaning, to watch something, then I can just pop it in. And then,
okay, no, I'm not that kind. I'm not that kind of person. I rarely rewatch stuff.
Oh, I watch.
So except for like Avatar: The Last Airbender, I've rewatched a few times, but I'm not a big rewatcher or comfort watcher. I'm more like I have an infinite backlog. I just keep moving. So that's why also I got rid of all my like DVDs at one point, and a lot of my physical games, and people are like, bet you regret it now. I'm like, no, I wouldn't have rewatched what I had. Like maybe I regret not saving the pile of Disney movies for my nieces and nephew, but no. I'm just
VHS.
Yeah, I didn't play that.
I had
the
some
Blu-ray,
VHS, some DVDs, some Blu-rays. Yeah,
the Blu-ray for Lord of the Rings trilogy, all 3 movies, is $55.
Like not the extended.
You guaranteed you have somebody in your circle of friends that have it.
I know. But I'm just saying. Like $55. That's a month of. That's almost a month of.
It's almost
subscription.
a month of Gamepass.
Yeah.
So then, like, and then you have. I don't know. I'm like,
probably
oh my gosh.
just as much content considering it's the extended version.
That's
of
right. That's crazy.
We used to have like entire seasons of Star Treks and box sets.
Oh yeah,
yes.
All of Gilmore Girls. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Well, ladies, we could keep reminiscing on days of yore and where we're ending up in life. But I think we should close out this show. I said we wanted it cream and snappy. That is not what we do here.
Nope, we yap.
So yeah, we yap. If you enjoy the show and you want to learn more about the things that we talk about, especially all the links to all the stories mentioned in this episode, go check out the show notes on girlsongames.ca to read through all of that. Thank you very much, Catherine, for putting them together every week. If you enjoy this show and want to rate and review it and have the power to do so on the podcasting platform where you are consuming it, that'd be much appreciated. Why? It helps with discovery, pushes us up in the rankings. Any comments you leave help us build our show. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Joelle, for being on the podcast with me this week. I would like you to shout out your social media handles so people can find you anywhere, anywhere online. Kat, where you been hanging out?
If you want to see photo mode shots of Ghost of Yotei,
hey.
CSDSBINS on Threads, Instagram, and Blue Sky. I will definitely be also sharing them in the appropriate channel on the Girls on Games Discord.
Perfect. Joelle, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram at Joelle Lauren and on Blue Sky at Joelle Lauren. But always hanging out in the Girls on Games Discord. Come and say hi.
And I am Leah Jewer on most social media platforms. But of course, you want to know everything there is to know about Girls on Games. You can track us down at The Girls on Games on Twitter and Facebook. Girls on Games, no that in there on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, and more. Discord.me/Girls on Games to continue this conversation. But of course, if you ever need to know anything, you can track it down at our home base. That's our website, girlsongames.ca. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Joelle. It's been another lovely week in video games. I'm excited to watch the Blue Jays play more October baseball tomorrow as I play Minecraft. It's a great way. It's a great way to spend an evening. Yeah. Until next time, folks. See you later. Bye.
Bye.